Hey guys, what's up? My name is Seb from Two Clashers, and welcome to episode 2 in our Clash of Clans series. So in today's episode, I'm going to be talking about 3 main things. The first one is upgrading. So I'm going to give a little rundown on what you should prioritize on upgrading, and also what should be going through your mind when you're upgrading things. The second thing is I'm going to talk about walls and also about base strategizing. And the last thing I'm going to do is raid for you guys live and try to give you a little bit of insight on what's going through my mind as I'm raiding. So let's move on to the first topic. So upgrading. So basically what I did is I created a guide, basically a list from the most important to the least important. Now this list is my own opinion. It's based solely on my Clash of Clans experience, and it's what I've learned through playing the game. Some of you might already know this, but it doesn't matter because I'm going to explain it for those who might not know. And don't treat this list as something that you should follow very, very specifically. For example, if archers are first on the list and cannons are second on the list, that doesn't mean that you need to upgrade all your archer towers before you can move on to cannons. You can it's a guide to know what to do if you have a little extra gold, what you should be putting that gold towards to. Alright, so with that being said, let's move into the first defense. The first defense that you should upgrade is the Mortar. Now the Mortar, I believe you unlock it at Town Hall 3 or something like that. And the Mortar is hands down the most important defense in the game, in my opinion. It's really good for taking out infantry troops, and it can do a lot of damage when it's well upgraded. So for sure, the first thing that you guys should be looking at is your Mortar. The second thing that you guys should be looking at is wizard towers. And if you can't already tell, the most important things on the list, basically the top 2, are splash damage towers. Splash damage towers are really important for taking out small troops like archers and barbarians and goblins, and also they can help slowly take out other troops if they're grouped up. So you definitely want to get those up as soon as possible. If you have an expo, so basically if you're Town Hall 9 and up, that would be third on the list, because you can set it to air or ground, and it's a little bit better than, well, not a little bit better, but it's better than an archer tower and a cannon, and also it's good that it has that air feature. But that's only if you have expos. Moving on is air defense. Now, a lot of people under upgrade their air defense, and actually, speaking of air defense, I need to get mine upgraded. But air defenses are really important, and at low level town halls they might not be that important, but I know starting from Town Hall 6, that's when you're going to start really getting hit with air troops. So it's important that you keep your air defense upgraded so that you can scare your enemy and give them a little bit of doubt when they're raiding your base. So you definitely do not want to forget about your air defenses. The next thing is archer towers. The only reason I chose archer towers over cannons is because archer towers can cover air and ground, whereas cannons can only cover ground, and they do the same damage at the same level. So my cannon's level 10, it does 65 damage per second, and my archer's level 10 and it does 65 damage per second. And the archer tower also has a little bit more range, so it has that edge over the cannon. So the archer towers, I would prioritize them over the cannons. And the last thing is cannons. Cannons are still important. It's not that they're not important because they're on the bottom of the list. It's just that they might not be as important as other things on the list. Oh yes, and also Teslas, a lot of people don't upgrade them, but you should, because they're really good. And a lot of people, when they raid bases, they're not expecting high level Teslas, so it's good if you have a surprise in store for them. Alright, so walls. Now let's talk about walls. Walls are another thing that people tend to forget about, but I'll tell you right now, you should not forget about them. When you're at Town Hall 6, you can start getting your walls to level 6. So you should do that right away. You shouldn't keep your walls low, and you should always keep them as high as they can be as your town hall. At your town hall. So at Town Hall 8, you should try your hardest to get all black walls, all level 8 walls. If you're falling behind, and that's okay, it's still possible to catch up, but just don't upgrade your Town Hall until you make sure that those walls are up, because they are really important. Alright, well, now that we've taken a run through what you should upgrade and stuff, I'm gonna do a raid for you guys and kind of explain you what's going through my mind as I'm raiding, and maybe give you a better idea of how you should look at bases when you're raiding. So, oh yeah, another trick. If you're familiar with the game, here's a little tip. If you're familiar with the game and you know your way around a little bit, if you're used to playing the game in English, what you can do, now this isn't proven or anything, I haven't actually done a lot of research on it, but I've noticed that it helps a little bit for me. What you can do is you can change your language settings to either Korean or Japanese, one or the other, a language that's not really popular, where there's less Clash players, and that'll help you when finding raid. So I just changed it to Japanese, and when you're familiar with the game, it doesn't really make a difference. And let's see if it helps us raiding, because most of the time it puts you up against, yeah, see, look at this guy's clan, it puts you up against people in the language that you're in, and the bases tend to be a little bit easier. So let's look through and look for a base. Right now I'm raiding with a healer giant army, so I'm paying attention to the air defenses. Nope, that's not a good base. Okay, so we found a raid. It's not the best amount of trophies, it's not the best amount of resources. Usually what I go for is 200,000 or plus. But his air defenses are exposed and his buildings are pretty low. He did a good job on upgrading his mortars, but his wizard towers are very low. You can get those wizard towers level 3 at Town Hall 6. So let's see what we can do. First thing you want to do is check for clan castle troops and lure out the barbarian king. Alright guys, so basically what happened is the rest of the video got cut out, so you don't get to see what happens, but I'm going to explain it to you. My healer got taken out by a Seeking Air Mine. So that just goes to show how big of an effect that traps can have on a raid, and this raid ended up being an epic fail, but I'm still posting it because there's a lesson to be learned. So the lesson is that traps are very effective, whether it's spring traps, whether it's big bombs or anything. So be sure to use traps to your advantage, and it can stop raids right in their track. So yeah, my healer got taken out by Seeking Air Mine. After that epic fail raid, I'm just going to show you guys how I queue up my troops to maximize the efficiency time-wise. So while I'm raiding, I have a healer queue up. So after I'm done raiding, I have already a healer and 2 giants. So next what I do is 2 wall breakers in each barrack. I add my minions if I use them in the raid. 3 giants in each barrack. 5 goblins in each barrack. So basically what I'm doing is I'm just distributing the troops so that each barrack has the same amount of time. Now you might not be using the exact same troops as me, but you can always do this for no matter which troops you have. You just have to be smart about balancing your troops. So next what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 10 archers and 10 barbs in each barrack, and that's going to be it. So yeah, there's just another little tip and another little trick. You can make your troops queue up the fastest and the most effective if you just take a bit of time to calculate what's the fastest way to cook up your troops instead of just throwing them in your barracks. So thanks for watching episode 2 of 2 Clashers. I'm Seb, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.